Hi, welcome to RooSports. I'm Joey Ross. Today, I'm here with my dad, Toby Ross, and guest picker, Ryan Hartquest. And on the recaps of last week's picks, I went 10-4 and my dad went 9-5. Just to warn you guys about the Chick-fil-A challenge, it's still $30 and we have our winner.
We had a winner, Joey.
Yeah.
I can't believe we actually finally have another winner, and this time it was Robbie Hare,
Yeah.
and he made the selection with which game was it again?
It was Washington State over UCLA.
Right, and we also had some people picking LSU over Arkansas, and you picked Arkansas in that game.
Yeah.
That's a crazy good pick.
I don't know
So
how I did it.
that was a good pick. So the challenge is still up for this week, you say?
Yeah, so $30.
$30 gift card. Just pick any one game against Joey's pick. Comment below, or you can make the pick on Facebook or Twitter, or now we have an Instagram, RooSports, and so you can make those picks any one of those places, and if your pick wins, and only this time I only had one pick that won, so there's no drawing since Robbie was the only one who got it correct.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so the challenge is still up there.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Joey. Okay, so we're going to recap Week 11 and talk about some of these games. There's a lot of very crucial games that I thought really mattered, and we also saw some shakeups, especially in the Pac-12. All three top Pac-12 teams losing this past weekend, and so Oklahoma coming off a great road win against Baylor, Arkansas taking out LSU, giving them 2 straight losses.
Mm-hmm.
And so, with that, Joey, let's just go ahead. Let's talk about some of the best wins that you thought from this past weekend. What were some of the best wins?
I think it was OU that needed win to prove everybody that they're still in it.
They are.
They're still in the conversation of getting into the playoffs.
All right, that's your win. That's your best win, you think?
Yeah.
Ryan, what do you think? Best win?
I think that's the hands down best win of everyone. That's I think that there was, other than big wins, I think there was probably more lackluster wins than anything, if I can weigh in on that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, from the Big Ten, we had Iowa barely squeaking by Minnesota, as well as Michigan barely squeaking by Indiana.
Yeah.
I was kind of unimpressed with the Big Ten this week.
Right.
But definitely hands down the Baylor win for OU is definitely the best win.
On the road as well.
Yeah.
Probably one of the best road wins I've seen OU in a long time, where they played just consistently.
Yeah, they don't like
the entire
game.
With Tennessee, they struggled the entire first half, had to really come back. But
In the
this
fourth
this
quarter.
Baylor game, it was just from start to finish.
They
They played very well on both sides of the ball. All right, so let's talk about some of the worst losses. Now, which teams do you think this was the game that they probably really needed to have on the resume to keep probably in the playoff talk or in their conference championship talk, and they blew it?
I'm gonna say LSU, because losing to Arkansas at home, that just destroyed their whole playoff hopes.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. So I didn't think they should have lost that game. No one thought they should have lost that game.
Yeah. All right. What do you think, Ryan?
Same
worst
thing.
loss?
I think that's probably the worst one. On paper, I think it's probably one of the worst losses of the week. Because you got LSU coming off a loss from Alabama that's got kind of a chip on their shoulder, needs to prove, hey, we can bounce back, and didn't get it done. And Arkansas, playing pretty mediocre over the season overall, getting some digs here and there from other teams, but overall should have been a game that LSU won if they want to stay in any kind of conversation.
Exactly. And we look at the SEC and we talk about the Big 12 having the best wins and the worst losses. The Pac-12, to me, they needed those wins in order to kind of stay alive in the playoff hunt. And now it's most likely projected that the Pac-12 will not make the playoffs. So whoever the Pac-12 champion is will not make the playoffs. We'll see how that goes. All right, guys. So we're going to talk about who is our, maybe top 2 or 3 Heisman favorites. Joey, what do you think about this? Some definitely we had some nice looks at some players this weekend.
well, Corey Coleman did not show up to play against OU.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna say Baker Mayfield. He came out on the road in their environment,
Mm-hmm.
and he led his team to victory. And had that crazy touchdown at the end. I mean, like scrambled in
Right.
front of Dimitri Flowers.
Mm-hmm.
So he's a nice player.
Derrick Henry still in the mix.
Yeah.
Definitely one of the best running backs we've seen this year.
I think he's hard to take down.
Yeah.
He squats 500 pounds.
Yeah.
So that's pretty insane.
He's got a nice burst of speed where once he hits it on, gets it going and stuff, it's gonna be hard for the secondary to pick him up.
It was in the Sugar Bowl, because he made OU struggle in the Sugar Bowl.
Yeah.
They played him. I remember that.
Yeah. Ryan, what do you think? Your top 2 or 3 Heisman favorites?
Yeah, I think Derrick Henry's definitely at the top. You know, he's a big, heavy, strong guy that finds the hole. He's got good vision. He really makes a defensive line work hard.
Right.
And he's a media favorite, and rightfully so. So I think he's got probably the most stock in the Heisman race right now. I think after that you've got Baker Mayfield, who's made an extremely great case to be in the conversation.
Yeah.
And so I think once you get past Derrick Henry, I think you've got, about 3 or 4 people that are kind of in the middle of the pack. Baker Mayfield, the running back from Ohio State, Ezekiel Elliott. He's a great back, and so I think those are probably the top 3 that I would put up there.
Yeah.
I think that there's still some football to be played,
Yeah.
and that Baker Mayfield has the best chance to make the most improvement
Mm-hmm.
for the Heisman voters. Leading up to the vote. If Alabama continues to succeed, especially Henry, then it's going to be hard for Baker to win that.
Yeah.
The good news is that if Baker continues to play well, then he's going to be in New York City this year. Maybe not a winner, but he'll definitely be there next year, vying for that Heisman.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right, guys. So that's some great cases and stuff for these players. All right, now we're going to talk about some of the potential conference championship winners. We're going to look at some of the conferences and talk about which conferences and which teams we think probably win their conference championship. We'll start off with ACC.
See, Clemson's playing. They're playing lights out. They struggled against Syracuse. North Carolina, they're on that 8-game winning streak after losing to South Carolina. I think North Carolina wins the ACC.
North Carolina?
Yeah.
Wow.
They put up. I mean, Miami, they had no struggle. They had at least 58 points in the third quarter.
Yeah.
It's Miami.
Right.
So
what do you think?
that's. I think North Carolina.
That's a
pick. I think North Carolina is a good pick. However, I think that offensively, Clemson's been a little more consistent, although neither one of them play the most stellar defense.
Right.
I really think that Clemson comes out and continues to play great offense and makes it happen.
Right.
I think it's going to be close, but I do think that it's very fair to put North Carolina in there because, which is kind of weird because, we're not used to talking about North Carolina in those kinds of terms, but I think that they definitely have a shot at it. They'll be playing for it, but I really think that Clemson's going to pull out a win with their offense.
That makes an interesting championship game for the ACC and also for the playoff picture as well. All right, we'll talk about the Big Ten now.
Big Ten. It's close between Ohio State and Iowa because they're both teams that look. I mean, and Michigan State could possibly get in the championship.
That's true.
But I think Iowa's going to the championship game, but we still don't know. Michigan could somehow get in there.
That's right.
But I kind of think Ohio State wins the Big Ten championship.
Okay.
They've played consistently. They have lots of talent on their offensive squad. JT Barrett and Zeke Elliott. I think they can come out and win the Big Ten and go to the playoffs.
All right. What do you think, Ryan?
I'm with you. I'm with Ohio State on that. I'm not big on Iowa. I think that I don't know that they're a farce necessarily, but I just think that they have been playing really average, lackluster, especially on the offensive side of the ball. And they struggled against Minnesota this last week. They've shown to struggle in past weeks where they probably shouldn't have struggled for a top 5 team. So I think Iowa makes it, and I think Ohio State, I think they run all over Iowa when they get there.
All right. Nice choices. All right, we'll go to the Big 12 now and see what you think about the Big 12.
Big 12.
This is these last 2 weeks.
No
here.
one knows.
It's still
anybody
up in the air. Yeah.
So I'm gonna go with OU here. They come up with that big win against Baylor. OSU did not look like a team to me against Iowa State. Iowa State's not very good, but if you struggle to win, if your first lead is the final score, you're gonna have to do some work in practice. But I think OU wins.
OU wins the Big 12.
I think they take care of TCU at home, but Bedlam's gonna be the showdown.
Yeah, it is. It's definitely gonna be a tough game for both teams.
Both teams.
Yeah, what do you think, Ryan?
I am going to go for a homer too and say that OU is going to be winning the Big 12. And I think they showed a lot. I think a lot was revealed about OU's both offense and defense in this Baylor game on the road. And I think that they take care of TCU, who I think was also kind of playing great offense, but just not well enough on the defensive side of the ball to make it all the way through the Big 12. So I think they take care of TCU at home, and I think they go on the road to Bedlam. That's probably where I disagree with you. I think that OU really takes care of OSU in Stillwater. And the reason why I say that is because although OSU can score a lot of points per game, OU scores more points per game than OSU does. And on the defensive side of the ball, they're leaps and bounds better than OSU is. But again, a rivalry, anything can happen at Bedlam, and anything does usually happen at Bedlam. But I think that no holds barred, that OU goes to Stillwater, and I think they understand what they have to do to make it happen, and I think they go to Stillwater and clinch the Big 12.
All right. Great conversation there. All right, we're going to look now at the SEC.
SEC?
Yeah.
I think Alabama's just... I think all they have to do is cruise to the SEC championship. They play Florida. I think Derrick Henry is the guy to run all over Florida's defense. But Florida has only lost to LSU.
Right.
Who lost to Bama, who lost to... And LSU lost to Arkansas. But Florida's they've struggled over the past 2 weeks against Vanderbilt, South Carolina. But Alabama's come out big, putting up 30 points, keeping the defense over, under, their minimum yards. But I think Bama can wrap this conference up and beat Florida in the SEC championship.
Okay, I was gonna say they have Florida in the SEC championship, and that's what you think. You think Bama takes it?
Yep.
All right. What do you think, Ryan?
I don't think there's any question that Alabama is the cream of the crop in the SEC, and I think Florida's got a great team. I just think they have some building to do, especially in their defense. Again, like you said, they've struggled in ways that Alabama hasn't, especially on the defensive side of the ball. Again, you've got the weapons like Henry. You've got an Alabama defense that can match up with anybody up front. So I really think they go to the SEC. I don't expect it to be a blowout, but I think it's going to be a decisive win for Alabama.
Yeah. All right. And then finally, we're going to look at the Pac-12. And Joe, you said this. You said you had UCLA winning the Pac-12 in Week 1.
Yeah.
All right. And now this has become a Pac-12 conference that every team is kind of beating every team, and so it's very difficult to kind of pick.
Very predictable.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna go with USC here.
USC.
Yeah, they've been a consistent team. I think they took out Utah, who was number 3, but their losses are kind of ashamed, But I think they win the Pac-12.
All right. What do you think?
I don't know. I'm not as high as USC on USC. Although I think that because the Pac-12 is kind of
weird.
Yes, I think there's I think UCLA is a good squad. They have a good offense, but and there's some other talent in the Pac-12. But I think we haven't seen this situation where they kind of beat up on each other.
Yeah.
There's good teams, but you also have your Oregon that's down. Your traditional powers like USC, who's not as up as they should be, and then of course Stanford, who's not the powerhouse that they once were a couple of years ago. But I think at the end of the day, I think USC has probably played the most consistent football in the Pac-12, and I think they probably come out with it.
All right. Interesting choices there, guys. All right, now we're going to look at the projected top 4, that the teams that make the playoffs. If everything kind of falls the way you think will happen in the next 2 weeks, what do you think will be the top 4 going into the college football playoffs?
I'm going to go number 1, Clemson. Number 2, Ohio State. 3, Alabama. And 4, Notre Dame.
Wow.
Yeah, I picked Notre Dame.
So you think Notre Dame is going to go ahead and take care of Stanford?
Yeah, because Stanford, they lost to Oregon. They didn't lose big, though, but they didn't really struggle that game. But I think Notre Dame just, Notre Dame's got lots of, they have good.
And the reason you're picking Notre Dame, if I'm right, is they got the one loss to the number 1 team.
Yeah. See, their loss isn't that bad, and they didn't even lose that bad against Clemson.
Right.
Because they only missed a 2-point conversion.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only reason why they're a 1-loss team.
Okay. And you don't think that if Oklahoma or OSU, if they go undefeated, if Oklahoma cruises on through, or if Oklahoma State goes undefeated, that they would jump Notre Dame?
No, because Notre Dame's loss was impressive, I thought. Because they've had some key wins. They beat USC.
Mm-hmm.
They beat Navy. So I think Notre Dame gets to the playoffs.
All right, interesting choices, Joey. All right, Ryan, what do you think? Top 4.
I'm gonna go with Ohio State, I'm gonna go with Clemson. I think Clemson is gonna go and run through the ACC, and I think we're looking at an Alabama, and then Ohio State, and I think that OU is going to make it into the playoff, and here's why. I think that OU is going to go through and they're going to have the flashiest finish to the season.
Yeah.
Okay, they will have beat Baylor on the road,
Mm-hmm.
TCU at home, Oklahoma State on the road, and undefeated Oklahoma State.
Yeah.
Okay,
That's going to be a big game.
possibly undefeated Oklahoma State.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Hopefully.
But either way, it's going to be either an undefeated or 1-loss Oklahoma State by the time we get to them.
Right.
And so I think they're going to have the flashiest set of wins there at the end, which means a lot for this playoff committee. And I actually think that Stanford will take care of Notre Dame, and Ohio State will take care of Iowa, and I think that clears the way for OU.
Mm-hmm.
I think, in the event even that Stanford does not take care of Notre Dame, again, I think this gauntlet there at the end for Oklahoma pushes them above Notre Dame because it's about what you've done lately for the playoff committee and for poll voters. And so I think that although that one loss that Notre Dame has to Clemson is going to be in the background, and we have this this fanfare of Oklahoma running through and it being this big finish and looking really positive for them for the playoff committee. So I really think that Notre Dame, whether they win against Stanford or not, I think is going to get left out because if Oklahoma does go, I think it's going to be a flashy ending for them.
Okay, that's some great points. I got a question for you. What if Notre Dame wins and Oklahoma State survives and is undefeated?
I think the same logic applies to Oklahoma State. I really think that Oklahoma State
taking out TCU,
Baylor will get a nod. I think they'll get the nod in the playoff committee because of the finish at the end.
All right.
If what you've been saying about Notre Dame taking out Stanford, or if Stanford takes out Notre Dame, if the Big 12 just beats each other up, because Baylor still plays Texas, and we don't really know how Texas is. I think if everybody just beats each other up, and Stanford losing or Stanford beating Notre Dame, and Iowa going down, Florida could be up there.
Really?
Yeah.
You'd put a loss.
Well, because
an SEC champion.
See, if OSU loses to Baylor and us, and Baylor loses to, they already lost to us and OSU, or they could lose to or they could beat OSU and then lose to Texas. But if TCU loses to OU, that's 2. And if OU loses to if OU loses to OSU,
right?
Like, I don't know, it's kind of hard, but
Yeah.
I think Florida's got like kind of a little chance.
Small chance.
Small chance. But
Yeah, I can see
Iowa
I'm
has
saying-
a small chance. Like other teams have a
I'm
small
not saying
chance.
they're gonna get it.
Yeah.
I'm saying it
Yeah.
could.
Yeah.
It could, and
happen.
I think what you've described is when you have situations where you have maybe a Baylor for some odd reason decides that they're gonna implode here at the end of the year,
Mhm.
and then all of a sudden you have lots of Big 12 teams with 2 losses. It opens up the door,
Mm-hmm.
and for a team like a Florida, I think it's a long shot, but it's not a bad point. I do think it's a long shot because I think that a few years ago when we had the rematch of the SEC,
Yes.
right, and then when we had this title game, I believe it was Alabama and LSU
Right.
back then. The media loved it, but I don't think fans really liked it.
Right.
I don't think.
And I don't think here in just the second year of the college football playoff that they're ready to do something like that.
Yeah.
Because when it comes down to it, although it's about wins and losses, it's as equally about votes at the end of the day, especially at the end of the season.
Yeah.
So I don't, but I would not discount this committee doing that down the road, putting
Yeah.
2 SEC teams.
What if it could? Florida could take down Alabama in the SEC championship.
That's
And
right.
they could just get.
Sure.
They could
Yeah.
just get.
That would put them
chaotic.
in the seat. Yeah.
Yeah. I think Florida would get in it if they beat Bama.
Yeah.
I think even though we're in the home stretch of the season, there's still a lot of football to be played.
Yeah.
Some of the most meaningful football we play
Right.
at the end of the
That's
season,
it,
and that's
exactly.
what you want in November
Yeah.
and in December for the conference championship.
Rivalries, conference championship games. It all plays out.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, that's our projected top 4 talk. All right, guys. Now we're gonna go into our picks for week 12.
Oh.
All right. $30 challenge up on the line still. Anybody's able to pick just one game against Joey, and if you get it right, you'll be entered in the drawing, and you will get a $30 gift card, just like Doug Rogers did last week, and like Robbie Hare is getting this week. So it's up to you guys. You can watch and pick and make your selection against Joey. All right. So we will go into the picks for this week. Are you guys ready?
Yeah.
It's ready.
Interesting picks, interesting games this weekend. All right, guys, we're going to start off with a Big Ten matchup with Michigan visiting Penn State.
Michigan is they've struggled a lot this year. I think Penn State gets the win here with the upset. They're at home. They've played some good football. They beat Temple. I think that's their key win, but I think Penn State comes up with the win here.
Really?
The upset
That's your upset pick so far?
so far, yeah.
All right, that's an interesting pick, Joey. Penn State. All right, what do you think, Ryan?
I'm going on the flip side of that. I think Michigan's going to take care of Penn State. I think, although Penn State's at home, they've struggled. Penn State has struggled this year. I think that it's a personnel. They just don't have the talent to come against Michigan and get it done even at home. So.
All right, I like the Wolverines as well in this one. All right, Joey, we got Memphis taking on the Owls. Temple.
I'm gonna go with Memphis here. They play some good football lately. Temple, they lost to Notre Dame and then they lose to South Florida.
Yeah.
An unusual loss, so I'm gonna go with Memphis here on the road.
Memphis almost getting by Houston this past weekend.
Yeah, they lost by a point.
Yeah.
But I think they bounce back again, and they beat Temple.
All right. You got Memphis. What do you think, Ryan?
I've got Memphis too. I think Memphis has got the offensive advantage big time. And I think Temple's schedule has shown us that they haven't played the same caliber of football as Memphis has. So yeah, I'm going with
the Tigers.
Yeah,
all right.
the Tigers.
I like the Tigers as well in this one. All right, we'll go over to the ACC, and we're going to talk about North Carolina, the Tar Heels, taking on Virginia Tech, visiting the Hokies.
I'm gonna go with North Carolina here. They've put up some great numbers against Miami and others, and Virginia Tech they struggled this year, but I think North Carolina comes out big on the road against Virginia Tech.
All right, Ryan.
Same here. I think North Carolina's going to get it done. I think they're on fire. They've got a great winning streak going, and I think they'll get it done.
All right, I like the Tar Heels as well in this one, guys. All right, over to the SEC, and we're going to look at LSU, the Tigers, visiting the Rebels in Mississippi.
This is hard for me.
This is a tough one.
They both lost against Arkansas. Ole Miss losing to Memphis, so it's kind of hard for me. Both losing to Bama as well, so I'm gonna go with Ole Miss here, because LSU struggled at home against Arkansas.
Right.
Ole Miss didn't lose that bad against Arkansas. They went to quadruple overtimes?
Yeah,
four overtimes. So they actually kind of gave Arkansas a challenge.
Okay.
So yeah.
I think Ole Miss, with that common Arkansas opponent, kind of showed this might be more their game.
They took down Alabama.
Hey, that's true.
But they didn't show yet.
All right. What do you think, Ryan?
I've got Ole Miss on this one too. You're right. This is a hard one because both of their games. Their last game was Arkansas. Ole Miss had a bye last week, so they both played Arkansas last. Coming off of losses, both from Arkansas. But I think that Ole Miss has the offensive advantage. They both play similar defense. But I think Ole Miss can definitely sling along the field a lot better than LSU can. I think that's going to be the difference.
All right. I'm going to go against you guys on this one. I'm going to say LSU takes this one. I think Fournette breaks out of his shell and comes back and tries to figure out how to get that run game going. And if he can, then yeah, LSU's going to win this game. All right. We'll go over to the Pac-12 where the Bruins, UCLA, taking on Utah.
See, I don't know what to predict for the Pac-12 anymore.
I know. It's just it's a coin toss now. It's
for real, yeah.
A flip of a coin.
I'm gonna go with the home team here, Utah. They've got a great coming off that loss against Arizona in double overtime. They lost to USC, but I think Utah can beat UCLA here at home.
All right.
I'm gonna go on the flip side of that. As you can tell, I like offense, and I think that UCLA has got the offensive advantage here. I think, although UCLA did come up with a win against BYU, it was barely, but they also won against Arizona and Cal, and I think those are pretty good wins. And so in the Pac-12, so I think UCLA comes out with it and takes care of business on the road.
All right. I'm going to go with Joey on this one. I like Utah in this game. Okay, we'll go back to the Big Ten and look at this game. Northwestern taking on Wisconsin. Both 2-loss teams.
It's kind of hard. Wisconsin's only lost one game in the conference. I'm going with Wisconsin here. They played some good football. Coming off that Week 1 loss against Alabama, they've bounced back. I think they get the job done at home against Northwestern.
All right, what do you think?
I've got Wisconsin too. I think their defense is points per game is at the top of the country, and I think that that's going to kind of carry them through. They both have pretty horrendous offenses as far as yards and points per game. And so I think it's going to be kind of a defensive game, and I think Wisconsin comes out on top.
All right. I like Wisconsin as well, guys. All together on that one. All right. Back out to the Pac-12 in a rivalry game between Arizona and Arizona State.
I don't know who to pick. This is hard.
This is a tough coin. Yeah.
So Arizona State beat UCLA.
That's true.
That's weird.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna get them wrong, so I'm just gonna go with Arizona here. They beat Utah. They play some good football. They've bounced back. I'm just gonna go with Arizona.
Arizona. All right.
I don't know what to say.
What do you think, Ryan?
I think it's a toss up, and oddly enough, I think that Arizona probably is the better team, but I'm actually in this one going to go with an upset. I think Arizona State's going to upset Arizona. Although Arizona should win on paper, I really think that Arizona. I think we've got a rivalry game here, and Arizona State is going to come out. Neither one of them have anything to lose, to be honest about it. But I think that Arizona State probably has more of a chip on their shoulder
Okay.
because of the past rivalry.
Yeah.
So.
All right. You know what? I like Arizona State in this one as well.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we'll continue with the Pac-12 and look at USC taking on the Ducks in Oregon. Another Pac-12 matchup we're talking about here.
They both beat Utah. That's big. I'm gonna go with Oregon here. Their offense, they have a high-powered offense. They kind of struggled this year. USC has struggled as well, but I think Oregon's speed is gonna outplay USC. So I think Oregon can get the job done at home.
All right, what do you think, Ryan?
I'm gonna flip side of that one too, and I'm gonna go with USC. I think that USC is playing a little bit better on the defensive side of the ball. Although contrary to what I just said about offense, I agree with you. I think that Oregon is definitely able to move the ball, get a lot of yards, get a lot of points. But I think that they don't have that same type of shine that they used to have on their offense maybe a couple years ago. And I think the USC capitalized on that with their defense.
All right, Oregon, USC. I don't know which one to pick in this one. I'm gonna go with Oregon. I don't know who's gonna win this game. I really don't. We'll just see what happens this Saturday. All right, we're gonna go back to the SEC and look at Mississippi State, the Bulldogs, visiting the Arkansas Razorbacks.
Arkansas has just been on a roll. They can actually tie the record they could if they beat Mississippi State, they'd have the same record as Mississippi State.
Right.
So I think Arkansas gets the job done at home. They've taken down some crazy opponents.
Mm-hmm.
So I think Arkansas gets the job done.
All right. What do you think?
I'm with you on that one. I think Arkansas is on a roll, a little bit of a roll. They had 2 fantastic wins back to back, and I think that they take care of business in Mississippi State. I think Mississippi State's kind of on the converse of that. I don't think they're playing quite as good as football as Arkansas is now. Yeah. And so I think Arkansas has figured out a way to win and really, really get it done, especially against some pretty good teams in the SEC.
Right. If Arkansas could have only played like this all year, they've had some tough losses. Lost to Texas Tech at home earlier in the season. And yeah, I like the Razorbacks in this one as well. All right, guys. We're going to go through some games here that are pretty big. Can be pretty tough, and we're gonna go over to the Big 12. These next 2 are Big 12 matchups, and let's look at the Baylor Bears visiting the Oklahoma State Cowboys.
This is a hard one. Both got great defenses. Both got great offenses. I'm gonna go with Baylor here. I think they bounce back off that win against OU. Or bounce back off that loss against OU. Excuse me. I think OSU gets too cocky. Thinks they can beat them, and then Baylor, takes that motivation, comes out with the win against OSU, and upsets them.
Really? All right.
They still are.
All right. What do you think, Ryan?
Yeah, I'm taking that one too. I think Baylor. The thing about Art Briles' teams is that I think he's got a little bit of an ego, and I think he's going to have his team ready. I don't think he's the way he's positioned his team in the Big 12 and in the country really to be a high-powered offensive juggernaut really. I think he's going to have them ready to play. Baylor and OSU both fall pretty low on the defensive side of the ball, but we've got 2 top-10 offenses going against each other. I think it's going to be a shootout. Both of those teams know how to score a lot of points, and I think there'll be a lot of points scored. But I think Baylor comes out. I think that OSU's been looking forward to this game, as evidenced by their performance last week against Iowa State. But I still think that Baylor's going to have a chip on their shoulder after losing to OU. They don't want to lose back-to-back games, and I think they're going to be ready for OSU.
This is kind of interesting because Baylor is another one of those top teams that Oklahoma State has played. And the last time Oklahoma State played a top 10 team, they destroyed them. And yet, when Oklahoma State plays on the road or whenever they have Kansas State at home.
If they play on the road, they struggle.
They struggle, and they struggled against Kansas State at home.
They struggle against Texas Tech.
They struggled with Texas Tech. So this is just a really tough pick for me because is this going to be the OSU team that came out and destroyed TCU, or is this going to be the team that goes on the road and struggles against Iowa State and West Virginia and Texas Tech, and I'm really uncertain on this. My gut tells me Oklahoma State is going to win this game because they're going to be like, hey, you know what? We've made some mistakes, and now we're going to show everybody how we play. So this could be the moment for the Cowboys to shine. So I'm going to go with OSU on this one.
Wait, so next week is Bedlam, right?
Next week is Bedlam.
So they have to get past two big teams to get to the playoffs.
Right.
That's a lot of pressure.
They can do it. They probably can do it. We'll see.
Probably.
All right. Next up, guys, we're going to look at TCU, the Horned Frogs, visiting the Sooners of Norman.
This is hard. I feel like since TCU won against Kansas, not very good.
Right.
They were what would they be, number 13?
Mm-hmm.
And so if they go up, after some top, the 10 through 11 or 12 teams have struggled, they could be up there 10 or 11. And if OU wins against them, it'd be more impressive.
Yeah.
OU can win. Trevon Boykin and Josh Doxson, they're questionable.
Mm-hmm.
But I think they'll play. But I think OU's got the momentum. They're riding this roller coaster. Beating Baylor on the road. I think OU can I think OU can dominate TCU.
Okay.
At home.
All right. What do you think, Ryan?
Yeah, I think I'm with you on that. I think it's going to be a great game. You've got two top 5 offenses going at it, but OU has a significantly better defense than TCU does, and so I think that's gonna. I think that OU is gonna be able to contain their offense to a certain extent, and I think that you're right. I think that OU's got a lot of momentum coming off of Baylor, and you've got Baker Mayfield playing really, really well right now. You've got other offensive players, kind of rallying around him, and I think they just have a lot of special momentum going on right now, and I think they're gonna take care of business and move on to Bedlam, and hopefully it's not gonna trip them up before then.
If Oklahoma can play defense as good as Oklahoma State played defense against TCU, this should be no problem for Oklahoma.
Mm-hmm.
And the way I feel is Oklahoma's defense has been playing very, very well the past 4 or 5 games.
They shut down.
Way better than Oklahoma State. With TCU visiting Oklahoma State and then getting just destroyed, I think the same thing's going to happen to the Horned Frogs in Norman. I got the Sooners in this one.
Because Corey Coleman was averaging 2 touchdowns a game.
Mm-hmm.
He had 51 yards and 0 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Against OU.
Yeah.
And he was at home too, so it was kind of...
Yeah, OU secondary really contained him.
Like Sanchez, that big pick, and Lamont Thomas.
Yeah.
They're
all right. Well, we have one more game, and we're going to talk about the Michigan State Spartans visiting the top Big Ten team, the Ohio State and champs, former champs.
I feel like it's gonna
the
be
Buckeyes.
I feel like it's gonna be close. I feel like Ohio State's gonna be close. Michigan State gets the edge.
Mm-hmm.
With a minute left in the game. They're up 4. I think Ohio State jaw-dropping ending game. I think it's gonna happen again. Ohio State wins it, survives, and all they need to do is head for Michigan.
All right.
I don't know.
What do you think, Ryan?
I think Ohio State. I think defense is going to play a big key in this. You've got Ohio State with the top defense in the country. Michigan State's defense is nothing to sneeze at, but I think that Ohio State this season has really shown that they can stop a lot of people. The other thing is that I think that Michigan State, although they had that great win against Michigan, it was I think we can all agree that was pretty much a fluke win, and they struggled against Northern Illinois.
Right.
And so I just don't know that they go and win against Ohio State. I think Ohio State's looking. I think they're looking really strong. They got a lot of weapons on offense, got a great defense, and I think they'll take care of Michigan State. And I think it's probably gonna be a pretty decisive win for them.
All right, Joey, this is probably Ohio State's toughest matchup this year. Wouldn't you think?
Well, yeah, but they've struggled against other teams.
Right. So you feel good about Ohio State?
I feel good that
winning this, even though this is their toughest game.
I think it's gonna be close, but I think they win like around a last-second touchdown.
Okay.
Because plus it could not be close because we don't know if Connor Cook's gonna be back.
That's true.
With a shoulder injury.
That's true.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I like the Buckeyes in this one as well. That definitely, like you've been saying over the past weeks, they've been finding a way to survive, and if that's what they do this weekend, then they'll.
Both these teams are meant to survive.
Yeah, they kind of are. Yeah. So which one?
One team going
Which one comes out on top this weekend? I like the Buckeyes. You guys like the Buckeyes as well. All right, guys. So that's our picks for Week 12. Joey, you want to tell us about?
If you want to send me a question or just say something, please hit me up on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram, or just email us at RooSports8@yahoo.com. Gmail, my bad. Gmail.com.
Yeah.
And yep. I'm Joey Ross.
I'm Toby Ross.
And I'm Ryan Hartquist.
And this has been RooSports.